Okay, should be all set up now. So in theory, tonight we're going to be running some, at least arena. Not sure if we're going to try for beyond tier 1. It'll just largely depend on who shows up. So one of the first things that I'm going to have to do is make sure all my gear is available for whichever character I end up using. Again, not sure who all we're going to get. So I need to, first off, save this gear set here for the captain, because I've been playing around with kind of a self-sufficiency heal tank build and gear set. And before I stash all this gear, I need to make sure that I remember what I was using. But apparently I don't have gear uploaded for this character. Yeah, apparently I don't have it loading for captain, so we'll fix that real quick. And now, of course, I need to fix where the gear up icon shows, because it's not draggable. It just kind of gets set via these drag bars here. So that should do. What's up, Arlon? How goes? Okay, so we're going to create a new gear set. And we're going to make it from all the stuff that I'm currently wearing. So basically the way Gear Up works is the top row when you're creating a set is the stuff you have equipped, and the bottom row is what you want to actually put in the set. And this is going to be named Heal Tank Test, and we'll just go with that. So now, if I load Gear Up and load the Heal Tank Tests setup, it shows all items are equipped, but if I start taking pieces of gear off, it's going to show them as missing from my set. But if I drag them into the empty slot, it fills them in for me. Okay, so now I can actually take this character and go back into Redline, stash gear, and go from there. Because I got a bit of time before I have to actually start doing anything. Yeah, getting some progress done on leveling. Good deal, good deal. So you're in what, the early 30s? I think is where you were. Yeah, 32. Very nice. So one good place, and I'm not sure actually, let's see, where are you? You're in Harleg. Okay, so Harleg is out in Lone Lands, if I remember right. Because, yeah, Harleg is down in the swamp here. So good questing out there. I love the Red Maid storyline that kind of comes out of Ostgoroth and goes through all of the eastern end of this zone. While I love a lot of the story in the Lone Lands and the quests out there, another place to look at potentially going in that level range is if you go into the North Downs, which you can get to by going north out of Bree. There is the Stable Master for Stilden, which is a great one to get right here, so it's a bit of a ride. But you can also then go to Evendom, or Everswim, so named because of the big ass lake in the middle. And out of the Ostfarad and Tinadur areas here, as well as this little kind of encampment down by the monument, there's just an absolute ton of quests starting in the very low 30s that'll get you pretty easily to 40. And they're relatively well packed and they flow nicely into one another, so it's a good area to consider going to if you're running low on things to do in Lonelands. Just as a thought, is that Evendom is really quest dense. Okay, what was I doing? I was going to go back into Redline here. And okay, that's done. Put back on the big old two-hander. Now figure out where all of my hidden stuff gear is, because it's probably still going to be all in shared storage. One thing I really need to do is clean out some of my general stashed crap in shared storage that I don't need right now. Yep, definitely don't need that because I've got a better helm already. I'll pull out the DPS legs. And we'll go with some DPS earrings. I'm not going to go too offensive on this character because they are still a cabbie. But I just want to swap some offensive pieces in. That's looking better. Gets me up to 119 crit and 155 physical mastery while still keeping 52% healing and good mitts. So yeah, that's more like a good Redline solo cappy. And because I only have 3 of my 6 Umbar weeklies done so far, I'm going to go ahead and just pop through some of those real quick. Get them knocked out. This is largely a bit of just kind of warming up before actually running stuff done. Oh, I'm going to let Rothog start talking, and then remember, I also need to switch my banner. Which means I really should just make an actual DPS gear set in Gear Up. That would make way too much sense. So we're going to go into options. We're going to make a new, and this is going to be Red Solo. And so this isn't going to be strictly the most damage-focused stuff. It's going to have a lot of healing and sustain in there as well, but that's kind of how you roll with the captain, is you're not a DPS beast. Do I still have the tank? Yeah, I've got the tanking chest piece on. That's got to be replaced. We'll have one more offensive piece in there. Yeah, there we go. All right, so Red Solo shows green. Now ready to go. Man, these guys in the knockdowns, I swear. Quick little burst of healing there by popping the revealing mark on them right before they died so I could get a hit in and proc that heal. Yeah, it may be a little bit cheesy, but it works. So let's see which mini boss starts off today. Fire Jerk. Hey Sparrow, what's happening? I'm just doing a bit of goofing off here, running some solo stuff before we do our group run in about 45 minutes. At least that's when we're planned to start. Still kind of curious to see who all ends up showing up and so what classes and such we have. But the plan is to do the arena here. Just obviously the 6-man version of it, not the solo version. No, I'm not soloing the 6-man. The new dungeons, like a lot of dungeons, have varying sizes that you can set them to. So for example, this one, which is the arena, has a solo, a 2-person, and a 6-person kind of size that you can scale it to. So we'll be running the 6-man version of it later on, which has more mobs, and they are significantly harder, and they add more mechanics and things like that. I'm just running through like the cut down solo version of it. Mostly it's a nice little bit of warm up, and it lets me pick up some gear that I'm probably just going to melt for embers, but it also gives me some enhancement runes to keep leveling up my allies. Oh, and we got Eleanor, so I'm sorry, you're a Clothy, you're just going to absolutely get whomped. That particular mini-boss does not stand up well to a bursty 2-handed sword DPS class. And Rothog is going to get basically all the cooldowns and banners and everything. Okay, so that is definitely interesting. And this gear set, because I did take off some crit and offense, I don't actually kill him before he does his second mechanics. So yeah, basically this is just a little kind of run through, goof off, see if I get some low end drops. But I did get a Seafarer's Flickering Essence box, which are always good because these give the essences that I use to do things like fill out the various pieces of gear so that I can stat them the way that I want them. So I use a lot of these essence boxes to get all my gear put together. So anytime I can get one for free, never gonna complain. Let's see, what else do I have? So delvings, I've got 4 of 10. I think if I go to Andrath, I can knock out a quick Tombs, because I think that's one of the delvings in Andrath today.
Could I speak with you a moment?
And it is once again actually kind of worth doing the delvings because we finally have usable delving gear again. So I'm going to go ahead and just run this at tier 9. Tier 7 is really the best bang for the buck, but tier 9 is just kind of fun because that's where the extra effects that they've started putting in start kicking on. And I do not remember what today's are, so we'll find out. Let's see. He's got Shadow Aura and extra Tactical Mastery, which doesn't tell me much about what he's going to do. Okay, so I've got Delving Storms today. So these are going to be these random pop-up storms that have varying effects that are just going to kind of keep spawning throughout the delving. And if I remember right, they can be good or bad, technically, to me and the mobs. Okay, so this guy did do Infested, which I have to cleanse off, otherwise it's going to spawn like maggots and things on me. But not bad. Doesn't really seem to have it. See, like this Delving Storm here of healing, I can stand near the storm and just get healed by it. Of course, it's going to heal the mobs, too. But I can run through it for a little pick-me-up before I go and take on the next one here. And I don't want to be standing in the firestorm. I really think I missed one of these guys, but I'll just circle back around for her. Do you want me to run back and stand in the Firestorm Sparrow? Is that what you want? Because I will go stand in the Delving Firestorm here. It's actually not going to be that bad to me right now because I'm not in combat where it'll ramp the effect up, and B, this character has a fairly decent amount of, well, still do get knocked out, but they have a fairly decent amount of mitigations, so I mitigate a lot of the fire damage that it's putting out. Because I still am partially in tanking gear. This character I don't run in pure DPS gear because they're a captain. Oh, there's that infestion again. 9 of 14. I've absolutely missed some. Actually, no. This one right here before the turn should be 11. Yeah. Okay. Right into a lightning storm. Come on. Really? So right into a lightning storm and then disease frailty, which cuts down my max morale. So that was kind of a jerk move on the placement there. Yeah, I don't like it when they get to Bazot. Only I should get to Bazot. These are the rules. Is that a Mr. C emote there? Nice. I had not seen that one before. But as soon as I saw the glasses, it can't be anybody else, right? Okay, so now I just got the big ugly guy at the end, and because I killed all his buddies first, he is kind of a pushover. And of course he drops a firestorm right on my archer. But the firestorm just kind of wandered off on its own. I don't know if this is a thing that's going to actually keep holding true, but so far, since they put the epic level malices in, it seems like if you do the delvings at a difficulty that puts you into the epic level malices, and that's what generates things like those random storms, or some of them have like goblin tunnels that'll spawn goblins and orcs while you're fighting. It seems like the actual normal malices you get aren't as bad because you've got the epic ones in effect. And I almost am wondering if the level 9s, the tier 9s, are not as difficult as the 7s are. With the non-epics, but just regular, like 3 malices.
How can I be of service?
I also might have simply been getting really lucky on which epic malices I've been getting. Okay, so I've got 3 runes, so I want to keep leveling up my LIs. And 3 is all I need to finish out this particular slot here, so that is perfect. That went all the way up to 520. So my class item is only 10 away from being maxed out. And for the most part, all the stuff I have on my class item are kind of the generic, the stuff I always want on my captain. My resistances, base morale multiplier, and kind of general use. Things that I'm going to have in any spec that I'm working on. So when I change to my tanking or my healing build, I'm still using this same class LI, I just switch out the weapon. So it makes more sense right now to work on maxing that out because it's used in all of my builds. And 527, so I've got time probably for one quick streets run just to again see if I can get any gear to melt for some more embers.
From the apothecaries of Khan Doom to Langstrand, all the way to Umbar, Gear, now known as Kasha, has been
You don't generally get any truly good gear out of the solo versions, but you get some gear that can either be starter or fill-in gear for a brand new 150, or you can basically just disenchant it and get some embers.
I will let my friend here roll out the red carpet. Welcome, Wumba! Ah, your persistence is aggravating.
And they really like the knockouts in here. The new instances, they have strongly brought back mobs that can knock out and stun, as well as the need to actually cleanse conditions off of yourself or your teammates, as well as purging conditions off of the enemies. So the various different like cleansing potions that do, you know, a wound cleanse or a poison cleanse or a disease cleanse are actually really strongly good again. He should be okay. He's just not going to come. So, all right, I'm just going to the sniper. And I am fully aware that my archer is considered by far the bigger threat than I am. Guy just doesn't even pay any attention to me. He runs right off after the archer. He knows of the two of us which one he actually needs to worry about. Because hint, it's not me. Although, again, the archer is not quite smart enough to realize that she can't kill the ranged enemies up there. But damn, she's going to keep trying. Yes, Sparrow, and just like a real hunter, the archer has no idea how to do target priority. I'm just going to cheat and get some health off this guy real quick. And now switch back over to Noble Mark. As one kind of nice way you can cheat a little bit as a captain is basically swap marks and cycle them through as they've done their thing. Yes, but in here you see it actually does matter, especially if A, you're in here as a group and they are absolutely our enemies that need to die in a particular order. Or B, you're trying to shoot invincible mobs that are literally just landscape damage. At least if it's a non-AI hunter, you can tell them, knock it off, that's an idiot trap that you just fell for. Says every hunter ever. These guys stand just far enough apart that I can't get them both in my routing cry stun. Again, jerk move game, jerk move. See, Inconceivable is off trying to find that person up on the roof who's throwing fire pots. You can't get them, I promise. Come on, come back to the ones we're actually fighting. Alright, come in with me, please. Don't just stand out there. Thank you, Hunter.
Have enough? This fire cannot possibly be worth holding. I should have dealt with you from the beginning.
So at this point, my heavy armor characters are geared enough that I kind of want to start running the two-man solo. Like, basically taking my default difficulty for running these up from solo to two-man when I do these kind of junk runs. Well, this is why you don't drink strange chemicals that you find lying around in the ruins of Karn Doom, because that's what happens to you when you do. So I got 2 more enhancement runes, which is excellent, and got a 512 yellow ring, which I'm not going to use. I'm just going to turn that straight into some Embers of Enchantment. Yeah, it's actually kind of neat. That little mini instance streets there is a story continuation of one of the instances from the Return to Karn Doom. That is the Tharsagar the Vile Apothecary instance, where that starts with you finding somebody who contracts you to lead them through going back into Karn Doom, and he contracts you to lead him safely into the apothecary to recover some stuff in there. And when you get to the very end, he basically says, all right, found what I'm looking for, see ya, and runs away, leaving you to fight the last bosses. And so this little instance is basically you having caught up with him, you know, all the time later in Umbar and chasing him down in the streets of Umbar. And he resorts to using the alchemical potion that he found in the Vile Apothecary. So it's a neat little kind of like callback, finishing up of that story. Yeah, and well, and you know, he kind of gets his just desserts because he absolutely screwed us over, and he basically just like, you know, meets up with you and kind of half follows you through that instance, and then right at the end, where you get to the ending room, he runs over to the corner, picks up the vial, and splits while you fight a nasty boss pair. So he absolutely deserves it. All right, so let's see. How many writs do I currently have? 3,000. Okay, good. So I did spend some, so I'm not in any danger of capping those. The nice thing is, this last patch gave us the updated new level version of this Delver's gear that we can buy with the writs. So it's teal 513 plus level 150 gear, which good if you still need to fill some pieces, but more important is we can buy some of these crafting materials with it, like the iridescent jets, which can be used to either craft nice items or upgrade some items as well. And that's actually going to be something that I have to do soon here, is figure out which ring or rings I'm going to get and upgrade. Because they come out being like level 522 teal, so they are really good. Okay, but for the minute, because we're getting close to time to actually start getting people together, I'm going to put gear back in the bank here because I'm not sure which character I'll be using yet. So I want to make sure that it's all there and ready to be pulled out. Again, another reason why I love having this account bound gear is that I can do this. Yeah, we're going to be I mean, hopefully as long as people log on and show, running the arena in a little while here. Okay, I'm definitely not going to put these two in because those are healing, so those are specifically for my captain. Everything else here goes back in my shared storage. And I'm just taking a look and seeing who put themselves as potentials for tonight. And it looks like I am most likely going to be DPS. So I'm going to hop over onto my champ and get them all set up. Just make sure I have all the things I need. Actually, looking at who is signed up, we might not have an actual healer. So I might have to put a healer together. A lot of time on Friday, yeah, a lot of times on Friday especially, people start filtering in like 5 minutes before or so. So that's not abnormal.
May the seas be calm and the winds fair.
Yeah, Cass, well, Twitch lies a lot. You know, we know this. Okay, so the only thing I can really buy that's useful from this guy I've already gotten, which is the Return to. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, I've got 3 of 6. Nothing basically ready to finish up immediately. So I'm probably going to kind of be at the point of waiting around to see if anybody who's signed up actually is a legitimate proper healer, or if we need to figure out what we're going to do there. Because we've got Snewer, and if you're bringing in Brass, that's a hunter and a champ for DPS. Where Willow might be bringing her captain, or she might be bringing her lore master. So that's going to determine what I end up running tonight. Because if she brings her captain, I think she has a blue line traded captain. Yeah, definitely. And we need at least one champ in there. Like that is kind of a definite. You're getting there, and that's why we run stuff. I mean, again, like I talk about, you know, gear and work on gearing, not expecting like everybody to actually do the silly degrees that I go to ensure my gear. Did you do any of the delving stuff when 140 was the cap? Because I'm curious. I'm wondering if you have delving writs left over. Because if you have delving writs left over from back in the 140 cap days, there's new buyable gear now. I don't know if you've checked those out. So like if you go to Andrath is the one that I always go to, just because it's convenient and it has 2 of my favorite delvings to run there. Okay, gotcha. So you probably don't have a stash of delving writs. They're worth doing at the very least, you know, periodically, because there are the delving wrappers, and one of them I've already done on this character. And that's the Delve into the Darkness, which is do 10 delvings of tier 6 or higher. And that gets you delving writs and embers and virtue XP, kind of like the mission wrappers do. But anything now tier 7 or higher has a chance of just flat out dropping the delving reward gear.
What can I do for you?
And if you look at like the heavy armor, for example, Pristine Keen Delver's Hauberk is really nice. It's Not as much might as some of the other pieces, like for just raw might, but it is, the mission wrappers are different than the delving wrappers. So the delving wrappers are for doing specifically the delving difficulties. So you have to go to one of the delving mission givers and get delve into the darkness, delve deeper, and delve deepest. Yeah, make sure that if you're doing the delvings at all, you get the wrappers from them, because the pieces are only 1,500 delving writs each, which isn't bad. Because I mean, if you do both the delving wrappers in a week, that's 500 writs right there. Plus you get 30 to 50 writs from completing each delving. So that's going to be another 600-700 writs easy right there, just for doing 10 delvings, if you're just doing your tier 6 wrapper. So it doesn't take too long to build up the ability to just buy one of these pieces. Plus, when you're doing them at tier 7 or higher, you have a chance of getting just one of these pieces out of your reward. So like the pristine keen chest piece here is good armor value, decent might. Like it's compared to the adventurers. So, like compared to this particular adventurer's chest piece, the delving armor is a little bit higher armor because I have a slightly older Ember's Gear chest piece, just because of when I bought it. But a little bit less might, more vitality, about an equivalent base rating stat, and 2 essence slots, so you get a little bit more customization. So these are pretty much on par with your Ember's Gear, and they're also bound to account. So just a thing to bear in mind as keeping up on doing delving wrappers as you can. Now that we finally have the ability to use those again. But what I wanted to do is I want to go to the Bloody Eagle, because I want to check out the rings. Yeah, if you have the time and you're able to punch through them, the 2 wrappers are, the one is 10 a week of tier 6 or higher, and the other one is 15 a week of just any tier, so you can do them at tier 1 to finish that one out. If you're already doing missions or things like that to get currency, do the easy ones as delvings to just get the extra stuff. Plus, it breaks up the monotony of missions some by making them more difficult. Okay, let's see. This guy's gonna have Order of the Eagle, I believe. So I have the option of getting one of these rings and then upgrading it to the 522. Yeah. I am a picky asshole about which missions I will run. There's a lot of them that I don't do. Like I will just move to the next place and do something else. So technically I can get several of these rings, and I have enough jet to upgrade at least one of them to the 522 version. I think I'm gonna wait on that though and just see what we need as far as people tonight. I think I'm gonna wait and see what everybody is planning on bringing along, so that I know if I need to quick style gear a character up. Yeah, Eldraslade has some good missions. The place I just was previously, let's see, that is in Eriador, Breland, Cardolan. So Andrath, the little camp up here, Hearn, and then in Swanfleet, Clegger, they have some pretty solid missions as well. There's definitely ones I do and don't like in those, so I tend to kind of pick and choose. But Andrath has one of my favorite like easily control, has actually two of my favorite easily controllable missions to run it as Delvings, and that is the Tombs of Gondor Call and Nettenglade. Both of those are awesome for when you want to try pushing a higher difficulty, like, you know, push up to a higher tier than you normally do in the Delvings, because they're very controllable as far as how many enemies you're going to fight at a time. So anytime you're looking at seeing like, hey, can I do one tier higher or start pushing something a little bit more difficult, those two out of Andrath, which are like whichever one you happen to get that day, are awesome choices. Nettenglade in particular is really good about letting you kind of be in control of your pace and how much you do at a time. And that's really useful for a melee class, because you want to be sure that you have the ability to only fight as many at a time as you want. Right, so I'm gonna guess that Werewillow is probably gonna be coming on her Lore Master again, because that's who she's logged in as. And without D-Man, that means I probably should get a healer ready. Do I actually have my healing gear back in shared storage for light armor? Yes, I do. Good. Because we are really actually going to need a healer in the arena, and our regular healer is currently away for a little while, so I might be filling in there, and Cass might be filling our champ spot. Good evening, Jimmy. So, question for you as we wait for people to kind of trickle in. I saw that given the people we have signed up, we got you and Louie, we got Cass, Senior, Werewillow, and me. We don't have a dedicated healer right now, because Werewillow is on her Lore Master, so I think it might work to have Cass fill a champ slot, and I can swap to Runekeeper, and go blue Runekeeper, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and swap characters real quick. No worries, Cass. I'll see you in game, man. One of these days, Lotro will respond and let me actually switch characters. Oh, Arlon, let me show you something when I get logged in here. There is absolutely a way that you can just stop getting those. Soon as this logs in, let me introduce you to the magic of the filter system. All right, so by default, I think the keybind is Alt R, but if you go to character, and no, it's not character, it's just if you click the little up arrow down in your menu here and go to filters, you can drag anything you want into either the filtered on the left, which is filtered for that character, meaning your character will never loot it, or on the right hand side is the filter by account, meaning any character in your account will never loot that. So if I wanted this character never to loot piles of enriched Umbari soil, I can just drag one out of my inventory into the filtered here, and this character will never again loot that. And then I can just drag it out of my filtered as well to unfilter it. Very, very useful for not getting those boxes. Okay, so let's see. I need to get to Bree. Just okay, hop into my healing spec here. And pull out all my gear. That piece, apparently, I still have not put a an essence into. I gotta fix that real quick. Okay. Let's see, I think that should be decent. So yeah, I need to see, do I have a flickering essence? I've got a lot of flickering essences. That is incoming, outgoing, there we are. Okay, get all of my gear set. Right, I think that's going to be as good as it's going to get. Right, now we play the game of can I keep up on heals? Let's see, where's all my stuff? There we are. All right, I think that's as good as my healing set's gonna get. We're just waiting to get everybody in here, and then we should be good to go. Let's see, Louis is still wearing some old gear, but he should be just fine. And Werewillow, we need to get some more gear for Werewillow. Because she still has 148k morale, which hurts. All right, I'll throw out scrolls first. Yep, got him going out now.
Keeper of the Tor Garden, and loyal servant to the people of Umbar. On this auspicious occasion, you have the honor to test your strength, meet justice upon the condemned, and earn the adulation of our people.
Do you want to try the Jimmy tank here? AFK tanking incoming. I'm just gonna DNF Jimmy now for no particular reason. Somehow I will find it in myself to forgive you. Well, I mean, you know, there's undergeared, and then there's, oh God, everything hurts you. Alright, so this one you've got to go up and make friends with him. He's not going to come to us. Basically, yeah. Lions, tigers, bears. Got stunned out of that. Sorry, y'all. There was going to be group heals. Yeah, and this is why tucking in is your friend, because if you're all the way over there and you pull aggro, tank has to run all the way to you to get them back, or play the find them and taunt game. Yeah. Yep, Werewolf, if you can toss some heals on Jimmy, I got eaten there. Yep. Yep, don't get cycloned. Should be able to just finish him off, hopefully. He's only got 171k left. There you go. Yep, you can all retreat now, and we're good to go. Oh, Louis lost audio. While we're waiting, I'm just going to go ahead and do this because I don't trust chests not to rot. That each mini boss is where we get the chest. So the 2 mini bosses and then Rothog at the end. Yep. The classic dwarf res. Mine are still on cooldown for another 3 minutes, so if you can throw them, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you. We'll need to get you some new scrolls there, Jimmy. Yeah, but on these fights especially, as much as possible, if range can come in with us, it means that the chaos is lessened, and if we get one of the guys who do distributed damage, it's not going to eat us alive. Yeah, so I know it goes against your instincts, but tuck in with the melee and medium range, folks, please. Yep, if nothing else, these are great sources of embers. Yeah, we've we're working on getting Jimmy his starter 150 gear. Are you still wearing like the cloak and stuff? Oh. You fall into those patterns of, I don't really need to gear up. Yeah, last expansion, I was just on the cusp of actually being able to do the good stuff, so this one I want it all. Yeah, we're starting to get Cass geared up and ready on his champ. He's gonna be the new champ. He's taking my spot. All right, so this one just burst her the heck down before there's too much fire. Yes, when she gets hemorrhage off, it's going to be distributed. Werewolf, can you mez the... never mind. The lore masters can actually mez the ads that come out. So, yep. You can use the lore master res on, at the very least, I know you can do the RAM. Because I was in a group that did it the other day, and it just floored me. I was like, okay, I need to watch out for the... Holy crap, it's mezzed. So we're doing the normal thing here of checking our various pieces of loot and seeing if there's anything that any of us got that somebody else may need, because we got a few people who are still very much gearing their characters up. Yeah, he does not negotiate. Yep, Jimmy, can you pull him back so that Melee can... Thank you, thank you. Yeah. All right, very nice. So let's see, I got a really crappy robe. So let me take a look. Just want to see what Werewolf is wearing here. Where do you want the robe I just picked up? It'll at least give you a piece of 150 gear, even if it's just will and some mitts. Yeah. I wanted to know if you wanted, let me toss it in chat. Yes, the game music in here is very loud and makes it hard to hear Discord. It's not the best stats in the world, but it would give you a piece of 150 gear and a good chunk of will, plus some defenses. There you go. Absolutely. And actually, let me see, what rings are you using? You're also using 140s as well. Take this. Either of these two pieces might do you some good mix and match. They'll at least give you some pieces that you can get some 150 gear, and when you get better, melt them for embers. Of course. I mean, that's why we do this, right? To help gear people up. Yeah, there's 2 new 3-mans, and there is there's the raid, which obviously probably not happening with 6 people, not all at 150. All right, I'm going to pop into the Bloody Eagle then and pick up some wound potions.
Good day to you, traveler.
I can share when we get in there because I've got the quest. All right, excellent. Everybody has the challenges of now. Yeah, you talk to him first to start the whole thing up, and then he comes back at the end.
Commander of the Garabakir, captain of the Hail Sea, keeper of the Tor Garden, and loyal servant to the people of Umbar. On this auspicious occasion, you have the honor to test your strength, meet justice upon the condemned, and earn the adulation of our people. So with a tank being basically 148 and under-geared, I'm having to basically just constantly pump heals into him. But in theory, we can make this work, right? Right, there's the first trash pull down.
Yeah, this all of the ads that we're going to get in here, all the mini bosses are A class. So you'll see people refer to them as the lore master, the guardian, the hunter, etc. So remember, anybody who has corruption purges, use them on the boss when he gets his stuff, otherwise this fight gets really long. Yeah, I basically don't have, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to heal really anybody but Jimmy in this fight because I have to constantly just be rolling hots on you, bud. Yeah, it's I have more morale than you. Yes, Jimmy, you can have more morale than I do for 30 seconds at a time. Yeah, it's just I'm not able to split attention and do much else than just throw every hot I've got on you. So as far as main healer classes, there are several classes that have a main healer spec. Runekeeper has one. We don't have as much group utility. We have a lot of single target and a couple of target like healing throughput. Minstrel has a main healing spec. Beornings have a really good healing spec as well, and captains have a healing spec. Those are kind of your primary healers, I would say. All right, I'll go ahead and throw scrolls out here in a sec. Yeah, unfortunately, when he does the Bastion of Light like that and throws it down, we need to move him out of it because that eats us. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to tell because Jimmy's also throwing Bastion of Light out. So, so it's his and Jimmy's. We're so trained to go stand in Bastion of Light. But yeah, it's very similar. It's not as large as Jimmy's, but it has the same effects. I mean, ideally we do the next boss, yeah, but you know. Yeah, the Guardian is considered one of the nastier bosses in here on the higher tiers from what I've seen. So this guy is just kind of a jerk. Lions out. Step out of the bad. Double puddle of bad. Yep, poison in the grate. Eaten by the bleeds. Or no, Red Storm. That's him, isn't it? He must have hit me with something. Oh. He used War Chant. That's what it was. No. He used War Chant. Because you are not a tier 2 boss, Jimmy. I used to have 17 million HP like you. I've still got 2.5 minutes on scrolls. So I don't know if anybody else has them. Sure.
Good day to you, traveler.
After the confrontation in the Citadel of Winds, the ship bearing
So we're going to dip our toes with 6 people into the beginning of the raid. What could possibly go wrong?
Pursuing the trail, you enter the depths of a long-hidden cavern, leading through dank, twisting passages, ending at an iron-wrought gate. The smells of the sea, iron, and ash assail you as you press deeper beneath the land and closer to the remnants of the temple ruins.
Mindless charging is always good, right?
We should not linger in this place longer than we must. We will unseal the underground river, restore the dock, and take a smaller ship to sea. Wait.
Jimmy, are you implying that we're not going to finish the raid first try with 6 people, underleveled and undergeared?
You have spoiled years
Jimmy.
planning a careful construction in a matter of weeks. Instead, let me welcome you to your tomb. It is a pity I should not see the life leave your eyes. But my calling lies deeper within the Mukta corridor. Do not despair. My crew will tell me how you begged before your deaths. Come, Nikasi and Belondor. We have much to do within. My crew and Shade will see these interlopers become the latest sacrifice in this temple.
That's not ominous or anything there. So Louis got eaten right off the bat. We've been the fodder for a little while now, I think. It went great as far as they were concerned. Yeah, I think our strat here is to have twice as many people and a bit more gear. Yeah, I don't know what tier you need to do the delvings at to, or the 6-man delvings at to start getting gear. I don't know where the breakpoints are there, but was it that way for the 3s and the 6s as well? Okay, because yeah, 7 is still the breakpoint for getting gear. On the solos, at least. Sounds good. So we're taking a quick bit of a break here. We normally take a 5 to 10 minute break halfway through the 2-hour block. And then we're going to roll through something, probably do a different 6-man that's not going to just eat us alive like that one did. So as it turns out, you can't really easily do a 6-man tier 2 with some absolutely not geared and leveled folks. Okay, that should set me up to have my quick slots going. And let's see what runes I got. Yeah, sorry about that. Having to delay answering the Runekeeper and healer questions. It was just, it's a little hectic on that one. So appreciate the mini break. Trying to find every place that I can squeeze a little bit of extra here. Outgoing healing. One of these had there we go. There's vitality. I want to pick up a little bit extra vitality. And throw some more vitality into this one. So we do have a few minutes though, so now I get to see, do I have anything I also need to catch up on as far as just getting crap taken care of or general maintenance stuff? That took care of all my runes. Do I have any gear that I need to swap? I definitely have some stuff that is not perfect healing gear, frankly. Oop, that definitely needs to be replaced. Now the piece of gear itself, the essence in it, because any yellow essence I can replace with the purple is good. Runekeeper is a lot of fun. I think Runekeeper is a very slept on class. Part of it is because it used to be one of the kind of premium classes. It wasn't a base class that anybody could just make one of. You had to either have the expansion it came in or pick it up separately. It is a little bit kind of Tolkien lore breaky, in a lot of people's view, which is, definitely true. It edges really close to being a wizard. But of the light armor classes, it is my favorite. I like Lore Master a lot for just running around and, playing a pet class. Minstrel is cool for the flavor. Runekeeper is just stupidly versatile in its 3 different specs. You have a solid healing spec in Blue Line. You have a very fun mobile solo damage dealer in Yellow Line, which is great for running around questing and doing small group DPS. And the Red Line is a more stationary turret style flamethrower spec. I really like the Runekeeper. I think that anybody who likes that kind of wizardy fantasy should check out the Runekeeper. I think Yellow Line Runekeeper is an absolute ton to just run around in the world and play with. Just getting my going through here and replacing anything that has these humble essences with flickerings. Now that I have a quick break. So healing gets replaced with healing. So 6157 healing gets bumped to 6620. So here, Tactical Mastery and Crit. Crit rating. And Tactical Mastery. None of these are huge updates in and of themselves, these essence replaces I was doing, but they add up, because each one gives a few hundred more points in that particular rating. So again, replace Tactical Mastery and another Tactical Mastery. Actually, I'm going to do that in Crit. I want to bump my Crit up more, because I get my money's worth out of Crit in all of my specs. And I don't have a whole lot of Crit in my Blue Line build compared to Yellow. So we'll go with Crit again here. That's got flickering. Oh, that ring needs to get replaced so badly. Okay, so you got Lore Master, Bear, Captain, Runekeeper. So you've got 2 light armors and 2 heavy armors there. I would recommend having a medium armor class in the mix, just so you get to have a little bit of kind of everything. Hunter is a really solid leveling class. They've got a lot of travel and movement options to them. And they're a lot of fun. Burglar is more complex to play, but always wanted in groups. And Warden is... There are people who like Warden, and I am not one of them. It is a whole lot of memorization of combinations. 1, 2, 3, fire. 2, 3, 1, fire, etc. to fire off all your skills. So I think my recommendation if you're going with that mix might be either a hunter or a champion. Just get something that is a kind of just a pure DPS, because all those classes there are kind of various hybridy type stuff. So I always recommend having just a pure hurt bringer in the mix in your rotation someplace, because they're really good to quest and run around on. And Hunter and Champ are my favorites there. Hunters can use spears in their main hand, yes. Actually, my Hunter's main hand LI is a spear. They're not the best in some scenarios because their secondary effect is a bleed. And so you're not always getting a whole lot of work out of it in melee, but they just look so cool. So I use a spear on my Hunter. Oh, apparently that's the first time I actually did Arena Tier 1 on this character in a group. I have no idea where we're going to go from here, but we'll see. Oh, what I wanted to check was your Order of the Eagle, right? Okay, so I got to be 30 to get the ring, and I'm not 30 on either. Yes, if you... Yeah, so I'm only 22 with Ledger Keepers. Which means I can't buy the rings yet.
May the seas be calm and the winds fair.
And they're kind of the only good things out of here. Yeah, he's going to want the Umbar allegiances, because there's pretty good rewards when you max them out. You can buy some nice rings. Yeah, Cass, I just tossed a screenshot in Discord that might help. The quick how to get to. Hey, now the great joys of waiting for people to figure out what we want to do next. We're just waiting and seeing if somebody is going to hop in and make us 7 so we do a raid, and if not, then we'll find a 6th man and roll through that. So we're in the waiting stage. So it looks like we're running a 6 man. Or not, because mine was just changed. So I guess we're gonna go into a nobody can make up their damn mind whether they're in or out. No, it requires discovery. Out of War of Three Peaks, yeah. Some instances or raids require discovery, basically having gotten there first. And that one, very definitely, this character has never been to. Right, I'm getting out of the Bloody Eagle just because it's starting to get a little laggy in there because there's so many people in there running delvings. So we're just playing the game of who has a raid that they want to run that doesn't need discovery.
Once the seat of the Witch King of
All
Armagh.
right, so we're gonna go in and just play around in Gwathmnost. So this is a level 140 raid.
All but abandoned after the Steward of Angmar was deposed. The remnants of the Iron Throne have crept forth from the shadows.
So we are not likely to be able to actually finish this place, even though we over-level it. But we should be able to at least get in and just kind of wreck some stuff for a little bit. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we are all here. Right, in we go. Hey, Jimmy? Yeah, and also, you know, there's the whole speed thing. So remember, while you might have charge, your healer does not. Just a hair. Yeah, they can actually still kill us. This is the point where I mute myself in Discord. Getting as many hots rolling on all the group as I can. Trying to actually keep our DPS alive too, because if these things stop dying, we're in bad shape. Get our burglar all hotted up there. Looks like he pulled some aggro. Here we go, things are back under control. And here's the fun. Well, at the very least, we do have people facing the boss, which is good. Yeah, Berg healed back up. Come back here, Glor. Nope. He'll get heals when he's back. Might a little bit of damage in there and then dip the hell back out of that mess. Get Louis hotted up. Suppose I should actually put a DNF on him. Hopefully Louis has his DNF. God, Where Willow, please stop running away from the healer. I swear. Those are the things that make a person want to stop healing. I'll get right on that blue DPS there. So yes, as it turns out, still can't do that. Yeah. The mechanic on that one basically is that when that phase happens, it'll target, I think, 4 to 6. I don't remember what the exact number is, players, and it'll basically target them, and a few seconds later drop a red square on them, and over again, it'll basically keep following them. So the idea is you should basically run them down the line. I was pondering. I was also explaining what was happening in the fight. We only have a little bit of time. We don't have that much time, Jimmy. Yeah, that's how you get the full title. They said last time they had that around that they were going to bring it back more often. Yeah, it's always fun when that spawns you right into a warg camp to start. But yeah, that was basically just a whole lot of people running in a whole lot of directions where I can't heal them all. And that happens. I'll be able to jump up on top of the cask here. Should totally be able to. Here. Nope. Dang it. Hi, Glor. Yeah, sorry we got you in just in time to get you killed a bunch. So this is the Mithril League kin house here. Cass, I have no idea what's going on, man. I don't know if we're actually doing anything else because it's 35 after and Louis fading. Thatter or Sambrog are yeah, Thatter and Sambrog are short, and they're yep. There's a stone right inside where you can do it just like the mission delvings. But you want to make sure that everybody's in before you talk to the stone. Everybody out of the pool. Death snacks.
Othrangroth, the Great Barrow, the oldest and largest of the Adain mounds within the Barrow Downs, and home to some of the most terrifying servants.
Because he's not 150. Yeah, somebody else will talk to him when we haul her in. Yeah, because the delvings are cap only. So you can't cheat and start start accumulating. Is that left over from the 140 days? Yep, anybody who hasn't done delvings before, hasn't done them in a while, corruption removal is kind of the name of the game. Oh, puddles are just fun. No, Lotro does love puddles. Hey, Poteen, what is the haps, man? We've had some ups and downs tonight, so we're running fatter at tier 7 delving. Louis' gear is not 100% up and all in 150, so he's not quite the Louis tank we're used to. At least not yet. But he's getting there. Yeah, just don't tell him that. It's the curse of the warden, right? Let's see. I would really love it if let me drop my runestone. There we go. Just way the hell too late. Yeah, our normal healer who runs a lot of these with us is out of commission for a little while, so I am filling in on the Blue Line Lore Master. Just need Louis not to keep pulling the whole room. I mean, I do like healing. It's just that I don't have like a fully great healing setup on this character. So it is a little bit rough. I've got a decent healing setup, but not great. Well, that is one way to pull this room. Throw all my stuff out there and then get the heck back. Yeah, Blue Line Lore Master, or Blue Line Runekeeper rather, is a lot of fun healing. You have a absolutely stupid amount of just healing throughput. I do not have a high level brawler. That is one that just I've never really taken the time to level. I think my highest brawler is like in the 30s. Out of healing range. Onto the other side of puddles. Like you do. Yes, Louis, that is a perfectly reasonable assumption. All of this tracks and makes 100% sense. There are degrees of making it a challenge, you know. Just saying. Yeah, unfortunately, Brawler is not going to be one where I'm going to have any real help for you on. I don't actually know anybody who plays high-level Brawler that I've seen, frankly. Yeah, really about all I know tanking wise on the higher end is Champ and Cappy. I don't even really know Guardian tanking all that well, to be honest. No, but Fornost would be fun as Delvings. I mean, let's be honest, Maltine. It's always Stan's fault. We know this. Why is everybody fucking running? Make sure he gets DNF. All of the delving maggots. Need one more second to get. Here we go. Rousing words back off. Everybody's taking damage here, so rousing words is kind of absolutely essential. One of the things is that Prelude to Hope restores power. But other than that, it's just, you know, having generally good regen. I do not play with a lot of hope. Or, I mean, fate. Rolling my hots here. Ooh, he's taking a bit of a pounding there. Does he still have DNF? Yes, he does. Okay, good. For a second, I thought DNF had worn off, but it was just because I wasn't seeing it. So much stuff on screen. Man. Down goes Jimmy. Pick up the group healing here real quick. Pick up the me healing, because that's starting to go down. And Louis got whomped. He's got DNF on him though. Louis, come back to life. Nope, got eaten. We got it done. We had 2 DPS left up at the towards the end there, and all they needed to do was finish off the last of Thatter. No, the good stuff you'll get when you turn in your delving quest reward and get the chest at the end. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to go basically talk to the delving quest giver, turn it in, and then we get our chests. We don't get the delving loot before then. Any mission giver who does delvings, so you can go to Bloody Eagle or Andrath or Clegger or any of those places. Yep. So they'll let us turn in the delving we just did and give us a chest.
Might you spare a moment?
Yep, I got crafting materials, so Umbari iron. It's actually nice that, unlike with the Gundabad tier, the delving crafting material reward boxes are more than just something to disenchant into delving writs now, because we actually have a use for them currently. Yeah, because before, anytime you got the crafting boxes, it was just like, oh man, something else I'm gonna melt for writs. Yeah, Thatter on 150 with a tier 7 delving when you're doing the challenge and letting them light all the lights is definitely a little bit of a thing. But we kept everybody alive long enough to take them down, so I'm counting that as a success. Both of these pieces of gear are kind of crap. But actually, let me find, is Where Willow in here? She might need... Yeah, she's still wearing 470 pants, and... Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and mail those to her. Oops, no, I want Where Willow 2. Is her Lore Master? Because those are absolutely better than the stuff she's wearing. Yeah, they were... I think they kind of decided at the last second to do the let's try and do the challenge mode and let them light the candles, so whatever. I show up and I roll hots, you know? Okay, yep. Send in flame, that is getting melted. Yep, thanks everybody. See you when it's flakes time, if not before. All right, so that is all wrapped up. That was, I was not thinking about the fact that I might need to be the healer until we started actually looking at putting the groups together, and then it was like, oh, D-Man's not here. Where Willow often heals on her captain, but I don't think her captain is even 150 yet. Kind of none of our regular healers are leveled and around. I might be the healer tonight. But yeah, Cass, so how was, now that we actually have some breathing room and it's not like constant go-go, how was being the champ for the night? You got to run around in a target-rich environment and swing that sword. And yeah, Poteen, I'm just catching up on chat here. But yeah, overall with the Runekeeper, I don't really generally have power issues too badly. I don't have a whole lot of Fate. Like, I'm definitely not spec'd in Fate, but having making sure that I'm eating food so that I have that regen helps. And overall, just making sure that if I ever need it, I've got a power potion to pop. Yeah, lots going on in there. Do you know what to look for on the enemy's bar to show when they've got a corruption present? Like what the corruption icons and stuff look like? Because a lot of it is just being able to quickly pick out in the line of buffs what it is when they have them. No, so let me actually hop into. I can just run. I can start one up here. So I don't think I've done... That's crabs. And wrath. Yep, I see a cast in the distance. Let me pop over to... I might have done Andrath already. So what I'm going to do is get a quick demo of what the corruptions look like. Let's see if I've got... Well, I'll hop into Tearful Tombs. Probably not actually going to run it, but... And I'm definitely not going to actually finish it in my blue build. But this will just load some mobs in. Okay, so... let me go ahead and make this bigger. So, UI settings. And where's opponent vitals? Opponent vitals, all right. So I'm going to make the opponent vitals very big here. I'm just going to sit here and heal myself. And I just had the realization that on tier 1, these guys might not pop any actual corruptions. Did not think this one through. I was just thinking of like, hey, I want to be in one where I can just heal. But in their health bar, like underneath all their stuff, where they've got their normal various buffs and things like this, corruptions will show on this list. They'll be in the top row here. So if they've got enough buffs that wrap around, the corruptions are pretty much always going to be in the top row, so right underneath the mob's morale and power. And they will be a blue bordered deal. So whereas this here is kind of the, you know, it's got the brown icon, and this one here, Delving Strength, is the multicolored, you know, red and such like that. The corruptions are always going to be highlighted in bright blue. Yep. So that's what you're looking for when you're looking for corruptions on the enemy, is they're going to be in their buff list up on the top row here. And so see on my character, on my vitals here, let me make them bigger. Vitals. So on my vitals, I have the Writ of Attunement shifts here, and they've got their, like, the blue icon. Think even bluer than that, like an actual blue border around them that are always going to be up at the top. So let me finish this guy off here. Set my stuff back to normal size. And get out of here. But yeah, that's what you're going to be watching for. Oh, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and swap back into yellow and finish it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to rebuy my stone. I forgot about that. If you abandon it, you lose your delving stone and need to buy a new one. So I'm just going to burn this one real quick. But yeah, so that is something that is a real big factor in all of the Umbar instances, and you'll see it in Delvings as well, is not only seeing things hit you that you need to cleanse, but also watching the opponent's vitals for those blue border corruptions, and using your corruption purge abilities as much as you can, because especially in the Imbari stuff, the level 150, they're really bringing that back as a thing. And so doing stuff like streets and aisle and things like that, you'll very much need to be on the ball with doing corruption purges, because they'll have corruptions that are like reduce the incoming damage by 50 or 60%, sometimes even more on the harder ones. And so if the corruptions don't get purged, the mobs basically are damn near invulnerable with the morale pools that they have at 150 and that damage reduction. You don't lose your you don't lose the stone that you put in if you die and just respawn into delving. But if you leave the delving, like if you abandon the delving, you do lose your emerald or amethyst or whichever one you used to start it, and you have to buy it again. That's why I'm basically finishing this up here real quick and just like swap back into yellow to take care of it, so that I don't have to just rebuy that, you know. That's also why I chose Tombs, because it is a very quick one. But what I will do is I should be able to pop over to one of the other delving spots and do a better demo of it, so that you can actually see what the icon really looks like. Because I was going to run some more anyway.
How can I be of service?
There we go, get
What
that
do you
back.
need?
So I will go to Clegger, because that should also have a good one. Knock on wood, one of these will have a good one to hop into. Let's see. Mother of Wolves.
Have a word with you.
Mother of Wolves is a decent one to do. Nice, nice. You're making progress. So I'm going to set this to tier 7 here. That should set it so that these guys will basically start with corruptions. Which means I also need to actually put on, you know, hope token and use food. Yeah, really, one of the big things is just getting that first, like, all level 150 gear as your starting point, is that's when it looks good. Okay, so I'm going to blow up his vitals here real quick. Oh, seriously, dog? Okay. So, opponent vitals, make this nice and big. So see how there's this blue border here around glory and pain? Just gonna step back away. Yep, so right here in his list of stuff, glory and pain is a corruption. That's what you can purge off with your corruption abilities. So you see they make it, as long as you're looking for it and know what you're looking for these blue border items. So in this case, the corruption on that this wolf is starting off with is every time you land a hit on them, they start a heal over time. for us DPS classes, Glory and Pain is a great corruption for somebody to have because we can just blast straight through that. But he's going to get a second one as soon as I basically pull him and activate him. So let's see what it is. All right, so his second one just popped, and that is the damage adaptation. Guys, I am trying to demonstrate something here. You are not helping. So that wolf just died, but that second one he just got as soon as I pulled him is he got a 50% incoming tactical damage reduction on top of Glory and Pain. So you'll have mobs that will reapply corruptions or apply corruptions at various intervals in the fight. And so that is, that's why you can't just kind of like, oh, I did the corruption removal once, my job is done. Everybody should always be watching for corruption removals, for corruptions to remove as much as they can. Some classes have better, quicker, more reliable corruption removals than others, and some roles it's easier to mix that in. For example, as a healer, it's a little bit rough to do corruption removals a lot of the time. As a tank, it really depends. Guardian tanks are great for corruption removal because Sting is their corruption removal, and that's a fast animation, low cooldown ability that they can just mix in kind of whenever they want. You and I as champs, we have Feral / Savage, which is the one with the kind of like 2 diamond icon. And for us, that's a spender, so we have to have Fervor to use it, and it's on a cooldown, and it has a little bit of a long animation. It's not a truly long animation, but it's not instant. The nice thing about that is it still does decent damage. Yeah, Feral. I think from memory, we start with Savage Strikes and then it morphs into Feral Strikes at some point. I always get that backwards, but that's the one. So that one will, if you look at the tooltip on it, you'll see that it removes it does 2 hits, removes a corruption, and has a chance to remove a second corruption. But it is on a cooldown and costs Fervor and has an animation cost. So it's not the greatest corruption removal skill. But it is still, it's still good because as DPS, that's one of the things where we're most easily able to shift focus and take care of things like that. Whereas a tank or a healer, a lot of times you're not as able to quickly shift what you're doing. Yeah, it does decent damage. It's still something that I wouldn't use over ferocious or devastating or brutal. Night, Poteen. Good to see you able to stop by, man. But it's not a total damage waste. Still can proc a bleed. And again, as DPS, we are the ones who first should be looking for corruption removal being a thing that we can do so that somebody else doesn't have to do it. Guardians can do it, but it depends on whether they're using Sting in their rotation and whether or not they need to be doing other defensive cooldown things. On my Runekeeper here, for example, I have 2 different corruption removal skills. So I have Final Word, which is an interrupt that also does a corruption removal, but it's on a 20-second cooldown. I also have Speak No Evil, which is just a multiple corruption removal. but it's also on a 20-second cooldown as well. So both of these are ranged and instant, but they're on the 20-second cooldown. So if you've got a DPS Runekeeper in the mix, they're a pretty good choice for corruption removal as well. Hunter has one ranged corruption removal. It's... I always want to say Blood Arrow, but I don't think it's Blood Arrow. It's the one that lands a pretty nasty dot with a heal over time back to them, but it is also on a cooldown. So a Hunter is not a reliable corruption removal. They're kind of that second tier corruption removal. I forgot that I had the vital bar of the Wolf's Giant here. One sec. It is... Let me see if the Lotro wiki is back up and running. Yes, it is. Good. It was down when I tried to go in earlier. Yeah, the other night when we were running stuff, it is Blood Arrow. Yeah, Blood Arrow is the Hunter's corruption removal. Yeah, it was funny. The other night when we were running 3-mans, and I was pointing out the Hunter corruption removal skill and what it was. Literally on my second screen as I was running, I was pulling up the wiki and getting to this entry. But you can tell on your skills that they are your corruption removal skill because they will say removes corruption ... So if you're ever curious or you're like on a new class or new build and you're not sure what your corruption removals are, if you go to the Lotro wiki page for your class and go into the full set of skills, just do a Control F and search for corruption, and it'll find every skill you have that has a corruption removal on it. That's what I do often if it's been a little while since I've played a class or am not familiar with the class or build. I'll just go onto the wiki page and look for corruption on the skills to see, okay, what are my corruption removers here? See, I'm going to pop a corruption removal there. And before that wolf died, they lost all their corruptions. And this one only purges a single corruption, so it only purged Glory and Pain. It left on his damage adaptation. I really like the RK. And I have got to put the vitals back down to normal size. Because that is starting to get really silly. And I think I hope I have shown that enough to be helpful. I really like the Runekeeper. They are my favorite of the light armor classes. I love the versatility. I love Yellow Line. Yellow Line Runekeeper is just so much fun to run around and just zap things. And Blue Line Runekeeper is a good healer. They're a great single target or tank healer. Where they lack is kind of the group buffing and utility that a Minstrel or a Beorning bring. They are much better single target healers than they are like multi-target full group healers. You definitely have AoE and group heals, but you don't have the same, like, I'm bringing, utility and this and that and the other to the group that, like a Minstrel especially has. And we don't have combat res like the mini or the captain do. We have do not fall, which is the death protection, but has to be managed. But the single, especially the single or two target throughput that you can pump out healing on a blue line Runekeeper is kind of stupid. Like this, this Runekeeper here, I have
What do you need?
a blue line spec put together that's okay, and I have some healing gear. Oh yeah, see, I just got a again, doing one of those tier 7 delvings, and out of the chest I got a one of the teal pieces, and that's actually a good one. Awesome. This might actually replace the piece that I'm wearing right now in my just kind of general running around set, because that's not quite as much will. It's the same vitality, more tactical mastery, more crit, and 2 essence slots, not just one. So fuck yeah. That was actually a really good pull, because it came out at item level 514, so not the minimum that it can come from, and it is a solid one. Will, vitality, tac mastery, and crit. That made that delving run doubly worth doing. But yeah, so this Runekeeper here, I do not have a true full healing build and setup on yet. I was just kind of able to mostly fake it tonight because I had most of a set put together that I could swap into real quick. And depending on how long D-Man's out for, I might actually need to make my healing kit better. So on those pieces, you're gonna get some varying answers as far as who likes what threshold best. But in general, you're never gonna go wrong having at least 80k or so finesse on your champ. You don't want to truly stack finesse necessarily, just because the conversion on it isn't great, but getting enough so that you're getting a lot of your parries and blocks taken off the table is a good thing. You don't want to truly stack it, especially as a DPS champ. Past that, you want to have a lot of crit. Crit is never going to be a wasted stat, because you can overcap crit, even if somehow you overcapped crit, which at the current gear level is functionally not going to happen. Crit goes from there into basically increasing your chance for devastating strikes. After crit, you want to have physical mastery. So let me actually swap over the champ real quick, and I can kind of show you more or less where I sit in the stuff I have to give you a little bit of an idea. And if you ask 10 champs about stat priorities, you're probably going to get 10 slightly different answers from one another. Like, you'll get a lot of champs that just absolutely stack all their offensive stats and go glass cannon and just rely on, the fact that they wear heavy armor and have a decent vitality pool to save them. I tend to go a little bit less damage output, but more survivability, because personally I like living and I like being able to take a hit. So let me pull up the champ and go to the stats. So yeah, the mastery ones, first off, ignore tactical mastery. You do not need tactical mastery as a champion. You might see some heavy armor that has tactical mastery on it. That is aimed at captains or Beornings because it affects their healing output to an extent. You don't need that. For mastery, you want physical mastery. Physical mastery just contributes to a blanket amount by raising the amount of damage your stuff does. It is a flat damage increase up to the cap for all of your damaging physical abilities. It's awesome. Do not get me wrong. Physical mastery is great. So let me pull gear here. And there have been champs in the past that just go absolutely full on like mastery stacking. I have no idea which all of these are in my DPS stuff, so I'm just going to pull kind of all of it out and then let Gear Up do the work for me. Just destroy my inventory for a second here. Okay, let's see. All right, so DPS red. Let's put all this gear on, and then I'll kind of give you a rough idea of the stats that I typically have going. So in this kind of normal, just running around, unbuffed, general purpose gear set, you can see that I have pretty high in crit rating and physical mastery overall. You'll find a lot of champs that will go higher than this on critical rating. And sometimes that's usually because they have neglected something else, frankly. So this page here shows kind of the general stat caps, because all of these do have technical caps to them. So you can see my crit rating of 150k is nowhere near the cap of 225k. But my crit chance is still 26.8% because I have extra crit from other places. My finesse, I like to have in that 80 to 90 range someplace. I just have right now a lot of my gear and some of my virtues have finesse. So that, again, resists your opponent's ability to not get hit by your shit. You want your shit to hit them. So finesse, finesse mitigates that. Physical mastery just straight up increases the number, increases the amount of damage that your physical attacks do. So, it is solid. Of these, what I would do on the offensive stats is finesse at least up to like 70 to 75k, just so that you're not swinging and missing or getting blocked and parried more than a reasonable amount. Past that, crit rating, you want your crit at least starting point, in like 20%. Just so that you have that going for you. Yeah, if you're 86k on finesse, you are solid there. You don't need to gear for anything else finesse. You need to start bumping your crit now. crit and physical mastery. Physical mastery is easier to get than crit. The cap is 200%. I don't remember what the actual number there is. So right now you can see I'm 176%. And then for mitigations, right now I'm a little bit lower than I normally am because I have no buffs on. But between 70 and 100k is where I like to sit so that I have at least, when I'm buffed, 40% tactical mitigation and usually more like 50% physical mitigation. So yeah, your next priority is going to be stacking yourself some crit rating. Because your finesse is in a good spot. You could even drop some and not really worry about it. You have enough to keep your hits landing, and that's the important thing, is that you have enough to keep yourself from getting screwed over. Now you need to work on getting your hits to hit harder. And crit is often your best bang for the buck there, as far as what you get from gear and essences and rating. Crit's just, crit is a good value for your investment. Oh, that is absolutely not the... I need to update my my gear set. Because these are definitely not all my damage pieces. For some reason it didn't have my helmet on. But yeah, the numbers don't change terribly there. Yeah, so if you can get some of the flickering essence boxes that give you the 514 purple these essences here, those are what you're going to want to get for your jewelry. And in this particular case, because I use my cloak on my tanking set and my DPS set, I don't have a cloak for either. This cloak is basically spec'd out to be middle of the road. It's the defensive cloak where it gives me some tactical mitigation, and I have it spec'd out with finesse and physical mastery, so it's just kind of that stuff I'll use on every spec. But these are the essences that you're going to want to start grabbing, are these flickering Seafarer's essences, because they are the 514 purples. And you'll get those as you start running more of the Umbar stuff. When you do the mission wrappers, one of the delving wrappers, sorry. So this delving wrapper here, the one that's delved deeper and is for 15 delvings of any tier difficulty, when you turn this in, you'll get a delving consumable selection box. This selection box here, what you want to take out of it is the flickering essence box, which lets you select one of these flickering essences. So this is a minimum of an easy 1 purple essence per week. By completing this delving wrapper, getting the consumables delving selection box, and choosing the flickering essence box out of it and getting whichever essence you want to slot in someplace. For you, it's probably going to be some of these crit rating ones, because each one of those is 2864 crit rating. So any place you can slot one in, there you go. There's crit. I need to update this gear set, because apparently I have not been doing that. Gear Up was mad at me. But yeah, so I know it's not a cut and dry, like this is the stat, you know, you need like do this and then this, then this, kind of in order. But the way I like to look at it is more getting your finesse to a decent level, making sure that your tactical mitigation, your tactical mitigation is high enough that you're not going to run through one fire puddle and just melt. And then from there on, start working on balancing your crit and your physical mastery. For you, right now with those stats, crit is what you want. So anytime you see the chance to pick up crit, that's what you want to be looking for. And also, when you are doing your LIs, some of them will have critical rating as their secondary stats that you're leveling with the slot. So you'll probably just over time, as you start leveling your LIs, pick up, you know, various masteries and crits and stuff there. I am probably actually going to call it here. Unless there was something where you wanted to get on and run something, because if you want to hop on, we can do like Streets and Isle on the duo to see if you get any gear. But I was pretty much planning on just kind of sticking my stuff in the bank and heading out. But I'm easy either way. Yeah, if you wanted to hang around, because stuff like Streets, you can set it to a 2. Yeah, I think tomorrow might be better, to be honest. I think that'll mean that neither one of us is tired, but I will be around tomorrow. And if nothing else, what we can do is all of the 3 regular like Umbar instances. So Arena you can set to 2-man, Isle you can set to 2, and Streets you can set to 2. So even if we don't have a third, we can run them 2-man and see if we can get you some more gear. Yeah, well, definitely go take care of that, because real world is more important than gaming. But good running with you tonight. It was fun. And let's see who is doing what. Oh, looks like Aubrey is up and running. They got their Dwarven Ladies Night going, so I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, I think we're both thinking the same thing. So let's raid out to Aubrey to close the night out. So everybody go say hi to Aubrey, and I will see you when I see you.